What an excellent day for an exorcism.
We all go a little mad sometimes.
I like to dissect girls. Did you know I'm utterly insane?
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
We have such sights to show you.
Who's laughing now?
Drive you crazy. I'll kill you all. I'm the greatest nightmare you ever had. I am your worst dream come true. I'm everything you ever were afraid of.
They're here.
Yay.
Here we are. I kind of messed up the intro a little bit, but I'm okay with that.
No, not messed up at all. It's good. It was very solid.
It's funny, I started the music, and then it paused, and then I started it again, and I was like, oh shit, I didn't go live. So y'all are going to get half the intro, but it's okay. I'm sure you guys have memorized it by now, because to be honest, it's my favorite intro.
I love that music. I'm not gonna lie, and I love the quotes. There's more we probably could add. I don't want to add anymore.
So fun. You really did a good job with that.
Thank you. And then I'm going to make sure I share real quick.
Please. Also, I want to show really quick my faux opulence before I throw this thing to the side because it's getting annoying sitting on my shoulder. But in light of the show that we're doing this evening, the 13 families that supposedly control the world. They're opulent and rich. And I threw my hair back so sleek, wearing my faux diamonds. But yeah, go away. It's too hot for that.
It is. It's too hot for furs. I don't know how animals live.
God. Well, I'm sure the 13 families have no problem heating the globe with their underground homes.
And all their billions of dollars in slaves.
Billions
and apparently,
billions.
And apparently, all of them are either American or decided to retire in America. So good for them. Good choice. Good choice in home.
Or they started out in other countries and settled in America. Which is
yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Well, see, this list feels incomplete to me, though. I feel like it's more like 18 families or 20 families.
I feel like there have been more, but, conspiracy theorists love to use the number 13.
Oh, yeah.
Part of the reason, too, being the number 13 is, oh, shoot, I wrote it down. There's a significance in the number 13. There's supposedly unlucky, has to do with Lucifer, and then the 13 colonies. I don't know, just nonsense, to be honest. But there are some things to question how these small little families and how they started out small just eventually snowballed into these titans in the financial world. It's fucking crazy. And each of them deserve an episode on their own, but we're going to cover just 13 briefly. And I did an episode just by myself mentioning these families, but I know that there's a lot more information that we left out.
Yeah, I mean the history goes very deep. Most of them, like you said, the rise to power is as fascinating as the actual conspiracy theory itself. You're not looking at. It's not like the what's would be a good family like nowadays, like the Walden family for Walmart. Like it's easy to tell. Oh, yeah, they made a bunch of money from Walmart. Whatever. These guys have a very checkered past.
When I saw the Walton too, like just the name, I thought of that TV show in the 70s. The Walton.
Oh my gosh.
Good night, John Boy.
Good night. Good night, whatever. Good night.
Good night, 8th fucking family member that's probably gonna die of cholera eventually.
In the next couple of days, that's what they see. Good night. Make sure we get it in.
So funny. Well, the first family that I know of is the Astor family, which very prominent. They started out in Italy. They fled for religious freedom because it's, Italy has really prominent Catholic origins, and they decided they wanted to be a Protestant family, which it's potato, to be honest. It's all the fucking same thing. It's just a form of control one way or another, in my opinion. I have to say in my opinion because, but they had to flee, so they went to Switzerland. The Astor, Hans Peter, he changed his name too. He actually had a different name at first. And he changed it when he moved, because back in the day you could just do that. Like, you didn't have to register, you didn't have to pay all this money, you didn't have to go through the DMV. You could just be like, oh, I'm a new person, I moved to a new place, like I can be anybody I want.
Yeah, you can get away with anything basically, as long as you move like one town over.
It also makes me wonder if these families, because some of them actually did come from other countries, it makes me wonder, like, the fact that they could just change their name, did they do something heinous and they had to flee? Like, not just because of religious reasons, because, we've often heard that the winners write history. So maybe because they are a prominent family, they got to change their history. What if they did something really heinous before they left? And
I mean, that's a solid possibility. You make all your money doing something illegal, and then laundering money back then was simply change your name. Oh yes, we grew oysters in Italy, so that's where we made all our money. Yes, of course.
Or
you just make something up.
Nowadays, you could just change the name of your company. It kind of still works that way.
Not wrong at all.
Like Monsanto just got bought out by Bayer, which they just changed the name. They're still doing horrific shit.
Oh yeah, and Bayer is bad too. It's not like they're any better, but they have a cleaner name right now. Now. Look at Chiquita Banana, the original company, overthrew like 3 different governments in Central America. So that's a whole other topic. Banana Republics is just insane. Not the store, not the clothing outlet at the mall. Yeah, the actual Banana Republics
that I will never be able to afford in my fucking lifetime.
Yeah, they're ridiculously pricey. And those sizes don't fit nothing. They lie.
For what, too? Banana Republic, I'm sorry. Not sorry. Their clothes are fucking ugly, I will say. Nothing special.
Yeah, screw them. Yeah, screw those guys.
But yeah, the Astor family started out with a guy who moved, then he changed his name, and then he ended up having a grandchild named Felix, and then Felix moved to another country, and no, he had a grandchild named Johann Jacobs, or Johann Jacob, or something like that. And then he had a grandson named Felix. And then that grandson had like So it's his great grandson. He had 20 kids, 20 children. And then they all just branched off. And like from that bloodline, were able to just the trickle down wealth. And this family now owns the famous Waldorf Astoria Hotel, which is in the UK and in America.
Yeah, I remember the one in New York.
Social, and business influences all over the US and the UK.
Yeah. I'm guessing other places too, but they probably just focus on them because they're bigger political parties to play with. But I bet you they're in way more countries than that.
Oh, yeah.
And,
all right.
Just a little... let's go to the next. You're right. Let's go to the next one. That's going to be... I have the Bundy family, the Bundy bloodline.
Ooh.
Now, this one, the name doesn't work very well. I gotta get my notes up here real quick. This isn't the Bundys I'm thinking of, though, is it?
Well, I know they had one Bundy that was a flop because he was a part of that family. And it's the Bundy you're thinking of.
No.
He was a part of that family, just like a little trickle down. He didn't get the wealth and opulence that the rest of his family got, which is interesting because his family was his, ancestors were famous for dabbling into politics and the CIA and moving up in politics.
This is okay. I honestly, because there's a couple of Bundy families out there, like the Bundy clan. If you remember that story not too long ago, the ones that were like, you can't come on my property, so they've got a bunch of guns and they held the police off for a while. And instead of getting shot, they got reasoned with, which was crazy.
That's weird. That would never happen.
And anybody else in the world, if it wasn't for a bunch of farmers, I'm not gonna lie, like I love farmers, don't get me wrong. Go farmers. But these guys somehow pulled a bunch of rifles on, I think it was feds, not even just regular like local police, but feds, and they got to tell the story, which is not a normal thing.
Interesting.
Bundy family, the pioneers of America. So, are you telling me though that one of the 13 families could somehow, through trickle down of bloodline, through all the roots of their, or all the vines of their plant, could have a serial killer involved?
It doesn't surprise me because a lot of them were working for the CIA with different names, but the same bloodline. Also, another name of this blood of the same name, William Bundy. He was a top intelligence CIA agent. And the Bundys were the ones who were heavily involved with families like the Kennedys and the Onassis family. Maybe not necessarily wealthy, but they were a powerful family who were involved in politics. And I always say personally that with great power comes wealth.
Yeah, you don't even need the money. You kind of just have the benefits.
Famous people, you eventually get money.
Oh yeah.
They'll start involving you in all kinds of shit, and like, oh well, I love this person. They're so cool. They're always helpful. Let's give them some shit.
Yeah, you find yourself in those networking situations. You find yourself getting jobs you very much don't need, or you are not qualified for. Mm-hmm. But because you're shaking hands with the right people and your family's been there long enough, of course they must know something, right? They must be good at something. Probably not.
It's so possible to have a whole family of schmoozers.
In fact, that's probably better than being a family of learned people.
Their way into stuff. They don't even have to have money. They could just be so good at making people laugh.
Oh God, yeah, I believe that 100%. Like
Because
you're
think
in
about
the
it
right
back in the day when you had
places.
kings and queens and shit like that.
Yeah. What's the dude's name from Game of Thrones? The really slimy one. Oh
Peter
God.
Baelish?
Yes,
Peter
Littlefinger. Littlefinger.
Baelish. Littlefinger.
Same
He literally
story,
was.
just one guy though.
He was just a little boy that came from just a nobody family, and his family kind of weaseled their way up, and then he got noticed, and then he weaseled his way up into the ears of the famous families. And that's possible, and that's what happened with this Bundy family.
That's surprising that's still so relevant today. Not obviously we're talking about a fictitious show, but
Still waiting for my
the idea, yeah, it still works. Like it worked during the Renaissance, it worked during medieval times, it worked during the czars over in Russia. You know, if you were just close to the family, you got some kind of authority.
Rasputin.
You got some sort of, yeah. One of the worst cases of that ever, Rasputin, destroying. Well, he technically destroyed everything, or at least his
He was
rumors
just
did.
like a
So that wasn't
weirdo
the
who
best.
thought he was like godly, right? Is that right? Or there was a little
That's
bit more to that, I'm sure. He had,
Yeah,
I'm
that
sure, a
dude
little
was.
bit of like political influence, but other than that, like,
Oh no, he was like hiring people by the end of it because the Tsar was out fighting World War One, left him and his wife in charge, and he was like picking his buddies to like, okay, you're the next head of the treasury, so the other guy died or I fired him, so you're gonna do that. It's the part where just because you have networked yourself into the right position does not mean you're qualified for that job still.
you know what's so crazy? Obviously, I don't want to say where my husband works. Obviously, I don't know the names of his coworkers, but he just, funny enough, just in like a small scale, just recently dealt with something like this, where like this weaselly dude just weaseled his way into a place of like higher up, you know? And then he has started like slowly hiring all his buddies underneath him. And like they were hiring their little buddies underneath them, and just like these weaselly little people. And then their work just started declining and declining and declining. And it's like, that's never going to turn out well. Turns out a lot of those people ended up getting in trouble or getting fired, and just it never turns out well unless you hire people that are not weaselly, unless you hire the good people around you. And most of the time, these people don't have good people around them.
No, you're absolutely right. Like that situation is not just ridiculous, but it can be out and out dangerous in some situations. It's crazy.
Especially
crazy that it works.
In this example works as far as danger goes. Like, if these people, and my husband's an electrician, if these people were to fuck around on this job and not do their job correctly, they could potentially kill somebody.
Someone's going to get very injured.
Goes with people in power. If you don't hire people that have the best interest of everybody else in mind, they're gonna fucking kill somebody. Whether it be hired assassins or mistakes that they make in power.
Yeah. So this falls into one of those. Oh gosh, where's my article? Where is it? For the Bundy family, back to sorry, not the Bundy, the Collins. No, sorry, the Bundy. Yeah, I skipped ahead of my notes. No, the Bundy. Yeah, we're going to them next. But the Bundys, it's one of those families that they didn't have to actually create anything to get where they were.
They weren't a rich family. They were just well known.
Actually, that kind of plays in with another, not just conspiracy, but horrible thing we talk about all the time with Epstein. Because when he started out, he wasn't super rich. He was just in the right places. He was
manipulative. He convinced a whole company that he knew shit about finance. He just walked in there and got a job. That's the kind of psycho shit that happens sometimes. I guarantee some of these families, they just maybe had a family member that knew some stuff about some stuff, and they're like, let me get in there. It was the fucking 1600s, the 1700s. They could easily lie about whatever and just be like, well, I do that now.
Yeah, I've built castles before.
that's
Yeah, I'm in charge.
So I'm sure some of these people, I'm not saying it's all conspiracy. I'm sure some of these people actually had like legitimate strategists in their family who knew what they were doing, you know, some people who knew the business or whatever. But I guarantee, like, to be honest, it takes somebody super delusional to start something from the ground up. Like, you have to be delusionally confident in what you're doing at some point. Maybe that's what Epstein did. He was like, you know what? I want money. I'm just gonna go into this place and fucking tell them that I know a thing or two about money. And I'm gonna get
You
it.
guys don't give me money. Yeah, and it kind of worked. I wish I had that kind of confidence.
Me too.
Walk into
I'd
a
be
bank.
a famous pop star by now. I wouldn't be
I would.
sitting
What do you call it? I would. Yeah, no. We would. It'd be so much different going on now. That would be a much bigger fur she pulled out earlier.
I know. It'd go all the way across my shoulders instead of just one little measly square.
She would have trained a wolf to hang out on her shoulders.
I would have trained a fox to just sleep across my shoulders.
We joke, but that would be awesome.
That actually would be cool. I wouldn't be upset with that. But no, too bad. I just got Walter over here in a box on the side of my desk, sleeping, being useless.
Terrible. Anyway, all right, let's go on to the next one. Maybe someone who's deserves more credit for taking over the world. And real quick though, like how are we not hearing about any families outside of the U.S. and Europe market? Because if you look at the Saudi royal family, they have more money than you could count in a lifetime. I know he's
the US
obviously.
is racist. I will be honest. I mean, the U.S. doesn't like to say that other countries, other than European countries, are doing better than them, and that's not a lie. That's not a lie. America is not going to agree that there are Russian billionaires because I guarantee there are at least a couple. They're not going to brag about that.
A lot.
Of course not. They're not going to, you know, us Americans, I feel we're so sheltered in the things that our government will allow us to know. I mean, women
or
can
what
wear
we want to know.
but really we have no idea what our government's doing.
That's true. It's scary true.
Not me. I have opulence and wealth. No, I'm kidding. No, I wish that would be cool. That'd be so elegant. By the way, who decided that slicked hair was rich? That feels so weird to me. Who decided that? Who decided that hair slicked back was like businesslike and rich? Like that makes me hurt.
I like the way it looks. I just never thought of it. Yeah, like, I never really gave it much of an idea.
Like, when I think of that, I think military. But why do some women like associate that with like rich, clean girls?
Oh, I love that look.
Have you ever heard of that?
Oh yeah, but
I was gonna say, you
I'm
have
all for
teenage
it.
sisters. You should know the clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah.
That's so weird. Like that's a rich girl thing. Like, I thought sweatpants and pulled back hair was like because you hadn't washed it in a couple of days and you have no clean clothes. Since when is that like rich?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing. The super rich and super poor live the same way, but they don't have to do anything. They have no responsibilities.
Except the rich know that when they open their fridge, they're gonna have something in it. The poor are just like wearing the same outfit or like, oh.
Oh, there was top ramen in there.
Oh my god! Do you want to get into the Rothschilds?
I think actually, I think that would be a good one to hop to. Yeah.
Because they are
Because these
absolutely
guys-
number one. They essentially control most of the central banks in the world. They are worth about $400 billion. $400 billion. They could end world hunger with 25 of those billions.
Oh God.
They could build farms everywhere. It would be like just a little chunk off of their billions. $1 million
it would be
farm
unnoticeable,
that could feed so many people.
and they would have no idea it was even missing the money.
They wouldn't even care.
Yeah.
I bet if somebody robbed them for $2 million, they'd be like, oh, I thought it was a dream.
Yeah, it would be at least a couple years before they realized it was gone, and then they're like, "Oh, I probably just spent it. I didn't get robbed."
It'd be like if we stuck a $20 bill in a jacket pocket, put it away, and forgot about it, and we're like, "Oh man, digging in the pocket. Oh shit, there's $20 in here."
But instead of being happy about it, they'd be like, "Ew, this is gross old money," and they'd burn it.
Rips it up, throws it away. Oh my god, how awful is that? How fucking crazy. Oh my god. Where did Miguel go? Uh-oh. Miguel disappeared. Oh, there he is.
Sorry, I don't know what just happened. I was trying to see the comments real quick.
You clicked out of something.
Okay. I must have. Yeah, that was my
Richard
bad.
wants 800 billion. Just enough to live. Just enough. That's
Enough
just
to have a little
enough.
pocket change.
Pocket
fuck.
change.
Coming to America, the original one, where Hakeem's taking the other dude's money, and it's like 10 grand in cash. Oh, don't take my pocket money. Come on, man. That's not cool.
I forgot
Like, you
about that.
motherfuckers.
Pocket money.
Oh, I need my walking around cash. Ridiculous.
Can't even believe that.
But
Because, okay.
like as you
so
said though, back to the Rothschild. So yeah,
the Meyer Rothschild, it was something Meyer Rothschild. It was a guy who decided to put 5 of his sons in charge after he was able to gain some financial wealth just advising on financial stuff. He was just good at money, which is weird.
yeah, he actually
wild.
was. Yeah,
It's like how, for some of us, like us normal people or dumb people like me, I'm like, what's money? What does money do? How do I do money?
it feels like that most days. It's like, so I have $2,
But like,
and I spent
these
$5. Good.
how many more dollars do I have? So crazy. These people just like, they just know. They just know. They're just like, oh, well, some of them maybe grew up around people that are like, oh, just save your money. Like, I've never experienced shit like that.
I think that's definitely one of those things where if you grow up around people who were responsible and literate with their money, it definitely translates. And he probably had that backing. Like maybe they weren't the best, but because they gave him that that base, that solid base to work from, he just was very good. And not just good, like you said, good enough where they were part of the English, the French, the Austrian, the Napoleonic branches of banking.
That's the
It
French.
funded the Napoleonic Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, when
But
Napoleon
there's that.
tried to get away from France and make his own fucking country.
Yeah. Which was pretty awesome. I'll give him that. Hey, he was 5'6". He does very well for 5'6" guys. Proud of him.
Joey's 5'6".
Yeah.
That's the
That's a good
average size. He's fine. Don't pick on Joey. You gonna get the beat
Yeah,
up.
it's,
I'm gonna
it's
tackle you with my diamonds.
no, that's my height. That's what do you call what's his name? The Napoleon complex. That's the thing. Remember heard that?
Yeah, I'm just teasing.
Yeah. People used to make fun of him because he was short. He was not that short.
Wait, if you're 5'6", either somebody lied to you or Joey's not 5'6".
We're like the same height. We're not that different.
He's a little taller than you.
No, I'm 5'6". I've been 5'6" since I was like 14. Did not grow. He just kind of gave up on me.
I'm sorry. Did you know the Rothschilds made loans to whole entire countries?
Oh
That's
yeah.
how rich these motherfuckers were. And they started out just in banking. Just simple banking here and there.
Yeah. Which is why I always said that banking is super evil. Just it's never been clean. I really doubt they were clean with it too.
Which is
Back
why-
to oh god, what's it called? The iron, or not the iron. The what the hell's the bank in? Is it the Iron Bank of Bravos in Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Iron Bank of
Okay.
Bravos.
Yeah, the way that they show it in there, it's so simple to think like, hey, you're not going to get us our money back. We're going to go give them money to go take your money, and then it's our money again.
Mhm.
It's real. That's as real as it gets, which is like it
Which
sounds dumb, but it's how
yeah.
they do it all the time.
We're gonna invest our own money to go get other money back and then come back with more money.
And get interest from the money we loaned out to the winner.
That's how, okay, so it's interesting how you say that because my perception of how rich people speak versus people like me speak is that our language is different. Just little subtle things that we say is different. Why they make billions and we make nothing is because they don't spend money. They invest money.
Yeah.
They don't, oh God, there was another thing. Like they don't, like how can I invest money today? Every day they're just thinking, it's not a loss for me. It's an investment. Their whole mindset is fucking different. Like, how am I gonna get something back today?
Oh yeah.
They don't even think as in terms of like, I'm gonna spend my entire savings on something that I may not even see again. Their whole thing is like, I'm gonna spend my entire savings and get all of it and then some back.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
it fucking happens. It's wild.
Blows my mind.
Yeah. So these Rothschild dudes, they start not only investing money in banks, but then they start investing in oil trades. And then they started to invest in metal. And then they started to loan or donate art to museums, which I believe is mostly stolen.
I would, yeah.
But yeah, it's crazy. They eventually went from bankers to slowly rising up from their little families, trickling into nobility. Their family eventually married into noble families. So they're rich, like kings and queens and duchesses and dukes and shit now. Like they're in government fully. So that was just another investment for them. These Rothschild motherfuckers are basically involved in everything nowadays except for slavery, I think, which not involved. It's
I would say it as in the quote unquote, because if you look at the conditions that most of the mines in Africa still are right now, it's basically slavery, if not worse. It's ridiculous what's going on to these people. And it's being funded. It's usually not U.S. or European-based companies, quote unquote again. And they try to point the finger, just like, oh yeah, this mining company from China, they're doing all the dirty work, but we're still collecting, the magnesium. We're still collecting um, the oh my gosh, what is the big one right now? Um,
The cobalt mines, no?
the cobalt mines. Thank you. Yes, cobalt. Um, and honestly, it doesn't really even matter what they're mining and how abundant it is if you're not going to give the people proper tools to keep themselves safe and healthy while doing the work, and then not even pay them proper wages, so that maybe the entire family doesn't have to work for you for the rest of their lives. Maybe only one or two people. Maybe a couple kids can go to school.
You know what's crazy? That one of the Rothschilds said, Nathan Meyer Rothschild from the 1800s, I believe, one of them said, who controls the issuance of money controls the government. So this family willingly went into wealth knowing that they could influence government, wanting to influence government, wanting to make sure that they could keep doing whatever it is that they're doing legally.
Yeah, I think it's I fully like the beginning of Wolf of Wall Street when he's going through all his drugs he does throughout the day, and then he stops and he's like, but here's the most powerful one of all. It'll give you enough money to kill your enemies, to make you a better person, to donate to whoever you want. And he pulls out $100 bill that he did a line of cocaine with. Money can make you basically whatever you want if you have enough of it. You used to be able to buy your way into heaven. You could buy favor with the church. You could buy a better husband for your daughter, so she's taken care of when you're gone. You could buy a sports team now, and then you make more money off of it. That's just modern day example. You can buy a bunch of guns and be a company that, oh yeah, we're weapons manufacturers, we're good guys trying to help out, and then influence a war like right now over in Ukraine. Money can do whatever you want if you know how to use it.
We're just sending aid. They're not.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's being manufactured over there, Miguel. Oh my God! How dare you? Treason.
Which again, I'm not saying that it's bad that sending aid to Ukraine. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying the guys at the very top are making money either way, whether it's a good thing they're doing or a bad thing. Please, don't make it sound out there like, oh no, Ukrainians need to lose or they don't deserve it again. No, they deserve help. It's just there's also people who have other ulterior motives.
Oh my God, we have so many families to get through. Oh my God.
I know this iPad's gonna die. I'm sorry. The Rothschilds, though, let's go from there. I think one that I would love to touch on is the DuPont. Can we go to the DuPont?
That was on my next one. We did actually cover a lot of DuPont shit, I think.
Oh, okay. I just want to talk real quick then. Just real. SD DuPont is a lighter company that is also manufactures luxury items, purses, other stuff like that. They work with Ellie Blue, I think, a lot. SD DuPont is featured over at Cigars, the trade show, PCA, every year. A really beautiful setup, and they have their, $45,000 lighter that's about as big as my thumb. And those guys are definitely evil. Like, I could tell just by looking at the booth. The outfits are too nice, all right? The suits are too good. Those dudes are up to other stuff.
I'm suspicious of them because they make so many chemicals. How could they make things that are good for human consumption and promote that?
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, yeah. All I know is the lighters, really.
Oh, well. They make all kinds of different chemicals. They made gunpowder back in the day. They invented nylon and Teflon, which both cause cancer nowadays.
Nylon?
They invented nylon.
That causes cancer?
Nylon hosiery, even. That causes cancer.
What?
They are worth $16 billion.
That even sounds low to me. Like, I thought they'd be worth more. That's crazy.
I'm sure it's more now. But yeah, they own their. There's like 3,500 members of their family globally, and they all have influence throughout the world. That's why they're one of the most influential, because their family created so much of this stuff, and they're spread out through everywhere. 3,500 members splitting up that $16 billion. Which seems like not a lot, within 3,500, but the residuals, constant money that they're making, poisoning our earth, essentially, is horrific. So yeah, DuPont. They make weapons and they make hosiery for your legs. So think about that when you're putting their chemicals on your body.
Kind of hot. I'll give them that. Then, from then, what would be another good one to talk about?
There's
the Freeman, the Kennedy. Rockefeller's always a good one. Rockefeller being part of the original.
Weren't they the ones with the trains? The trains, right? The train station?
U.S. Steel as well.
Steel as well, yes. That's right.
Steel, yeah. And they were, I believe, one of the Rockefellers was the original head of the OSS? It was the World War II spy division for the U.S. basically. I think it was the OSS, if I remember correctly, which turned into the CIA later on. And one of the heads of the Rockefeller family got the job because someone in government and him went to the same university for a while. And granted, he was a smart man. I'm not saying like he was dumb in this case.
Right.
But it was very much a nepotism thing.
Yeah, because they went to, let's see, major financial donors. Okay, so I can't see where they were actually going to school, but they donated to Harvard, Dartmouth, Princeton, Stanford, Yale, Brown, Columbia, all of these fucking prominent schools that you...
Big ones.
Yeah, all of these prominent schools. They all had their little claws in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They promote a one world government, by the way. Just so you know.
That blows my mind. That still freaks me out. I don't think that's a good idea at all.
They're all for that. God. Sorry. Trigger warning. I just scratched my leg and I had a mosquito bite. It was itchy.
Oh no.
I scratched it.
They got to her. They got Lauren.
You know what's funny? Every time we try to do this episode, either something happens with you and you can't make it, or earlier we're having technical difficulties and you couldn't make it till later. And now I'm fucking bleeding. It's like something's going on. I don't believe it.
Well, I'm running on fumes over here, and we've got at least 5 more families we've got to hit up.
You know what? I think maybe we should push it to do maybe like a half and half for next week.
It's gonna have to happen. Yeah.
Split it into 2 eps. Just a half an ep. Hold on. Let me make sure we're not doing anything crazy next week, so we have enough time.
Yeah, just in case.
Just gotta make sure. Oh, you know what? We're doing UC Davis updates. That shouldn't take the whole time. So we can finish the rest of these 13 families and then do a UC Davis update.
I'm down. That's perfect.
Yeah, that's perfect. DuPont mosquitoes!
DuPont mosquitoes. I just saw that too. Damn it. Pretty good.
The Rothschilds are injecting me with their poison.
Oh no. We'll go heal up. I will have my laptop next week. I will plan out better because Frankie did not help me out with that.
Okay.
Jabroni, he is.
But yeah, guys. Next week for sure we'll do a part 2 of this Rothschilds, or excuse me, the the families, the 13 families update, and then we'll do a UC Davis update. And then, yeah. I'm going to go clean my leg.
Please do. All right.
All right.
People, y'all have a good one. Lord, no more
All right.
bleeding. Bye.
Of course. Bye, guys. Bye, guru.